thanks for playing along. Hello, my name is Stephen Sim, and yes, I'm an improviser. I do improv shows, and I teach improv classes. I play make-believe. That's what I do for a living. It's pretty nice. Now, improv theater or improv comedy is a fairly new art form, but I believe that all art has its roots in improvisation. Every painting was made up before or while it's being painted. Every song was made up before it was written down. And before we wrote things down, we would pass down our stories throughout history. We'd memorize the stories, pass them down generation to generation. We'd improvise it a little bit every time we told it. It was evolving. What I'm trying to say is improv is the best. But after an improv show, after I do improv, I don't get to have a painting when it's done, or a book, or a movie. You can improvise a movie, but you get to hold the movie in your hand afterwards. And with improv, all there is that process of creation. In improv, the process is the product. So when I learned the process of improvisation, I learned it on a stage in front of people. I was lucky enough to be trained by an audience. An audience, you guys, are actually the best teachers in the world. And I can say that quite literally, the audience was my greatest teacher, because sometimes I would do improv shows with the audience. We would use audience volunteers. Sometimes audience members who had never been on stage before, we would get them on stage and we would do improv scenes with them. And I had to learn very quickly to be calm and relaxed on stage, because my scene partner was way more afraid than I was. And I was afraid. I had no idea what I was doing, but I had to be calm. One of the first things that you have to do when you're improvising is fight that fear and panic. Fear and panic is our ego throwing obstacles in our way. So when I teach improv, when I teach people how to play, I'm really teaching them how to relax and be calm and pay attention to what's actually happening. Because when we panic, we go up into our heads, we retreat, and we miss out on that beautiful, actual thing that's happening. But really, we all improvise. Every moment of every day, we're improvising. We don't know what we're going to do. We don't get a script. We don't know what's going to happen next. Every good conversation has the same elements of good improvisation. It's about being present, listening, and reacting. So how do I teach that? Well, I'll tell you a couple rules, or guidelines, or things. The first rule in improv is agreement. We have to agree to play. If we don't agree, we don't play, and then nothing happens and doesn't even happen. That's the power of yes. The second is collaboration. We agree to play together. We agree to create together. And in improv, we call that yes and. I say yes to your idea, and I add to it. Now, there are several reasons why we use yes and in improv. To understand that, we have to explore no. Did the lights just get dimmer? When I said no, the lights got a little dimmer. And that's when we say no, the light in our head gets a little dimmer too. That wasn't supposed to happen. I improvised. The first thing we say no to is our own idea. We hate our own idea. We're trapped with our own ideas every day, so we're bored of our ideas. So we search for something that is original or clever or unique. We hate our ideas so much. We throw away perfectly good ideas because they're too obvious. Well, get over it. We must become masters of the obvious. Obvious to us isn't necessarily obvious to someone else. And usually, I think that the obvious thing is exactly what's needed, and that's why it was so obvious in the first place. We say no out of fear. We're afraid of the unknown. We have a fear of the unknown. So in improv, no is actually a safe choice to make, because when we say no, then nothing happens. And we don't have to deal with that new, unknown thing. We just shut it down. The thing is, an audience doesn't want to see safe, nothing things happen. We don't watch movies where characters make safe choices. Safe equals boring. When we play, we're actually exploring danger. The rules are there to set a framework for us to be safe, to take risks. In real life, we want to avoid danger. But when we're playing, we have to go against our survival instincts. Another way we stay safe and avoid that unknown is we come up with a plan. Oh, I come up with a plan so I can feel safe. So I come up with a plan, my partner comes up with a plan, and then I say no to their idea because it doesn't fit into my plan. And then they say no to my idea because they don't know what my plan is and doesn't fit into their plan. And we create this feedback loop of no. And then, again, nothing happens. We say no to try to control our environment. We don't want to lose control. When we're playing, when we're improvising, we have to lose control. We have to say yes to the moment. We have to embrace what's actually happening. We have to say yes to the chaos. We have to say yes to all the mistakes. We just accept it, and we just go with it. So when we say yes to us. We say yes to our idea. Our idea is okay. Our mistakes are okay. Yes allows us the courage to share our idea, because I already know my partner is going to say yes to me. Whew. Yes allows me to not have to decide whether I like my partner's idea, because I already know I'm going to like it. In fact, I'm going to love it. In fact, I'm going to take their idea and I'm going to add to it. And they're going to take my idea and add to it. We are going to make each other's ideas better. And then it stops being my idea, or your idea, or your idea, and starts being our idea. That, to me, is the power of yes and. So right about now, I'd like to ask for some audience volunteers. So there's stairs right here and there's stairs right there. I want at least 2, but I can take more than 2. Starting now. Starting now. A round of applause for volunteers. So come on. Be nice and safe over here. We have 2. We have 3. I need somebody to be with this person then. I need pairs. Beautiful. Perfect. You guys are partners, and you 2 are partners too. And if you want to play in the audience too, if you do want to stand up in the aisle or right here, you can. I want to make sure that everyone can see. Okay. 4 people said yes. That's fine. That's fine. I'm a failure. So turn to your partner and look at your partner. We're going to play a game called mirroring. It's one of the oldest games out there. Monkey see, monkey do. No offense. So look at your partner, and we're going to do everything with the eye contact. Don't ever break the eye contact. You're the leader, and you're the leader. Okay? Leaders, start moving. Now slow down, leaders. Slow down. Go even slower. Go slower, go slower. You see, what we want to do is we want to make our partner look good. We want to make our partner look great. And to do that, we move nice and slow. We move nice and slow so it's possible that our partner can follow us. We want them to want to play with us. We want them to want to say yes. So nice and slow, and keep that eye contact. And don't ever stop moving. See, when you stop moving, how's your partner supposed to know that you were about to stop? And now that you've stopped, how are they supposed to know that you're going to start up again? So just keep moving nice and slow. You're telegraphing your movements. And don't worry about thinking of anything. Don't stop moving. Don't ever stop moving. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. And nice and slow. Nice and slow. If your partner's not doing exactly what you're doing when you're doing it, you're being too complicated or you're moving too fast. Beautiful. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to count back from 3, and I'm going to say the word switch. When I do that, I want you to switch. I want the leader to become the follower, and I want the follower to become the leader, and I want it to happen seamlessly. Don't stop moving. Just keep moving. Arms up, arms down. 3, 2, 1, switch. Leader's now the follower. Follower's now the leader. Don't stop moving. Nice and slow movements. Never stop moving. And don't worry about making mistakes. You guys have just met and you're improvising, so of course there's going to be mistakes. Don't worry about it. Just keep moving, nice and slow, and never stop moving. If you get confused, just keep moving. The flow is more important than the rules. The flow is more important than everything. What's actually happening is more important than what you thought was supposed to happen. So just keep moving. Keep the eye contact, yeah. Keep the eye, I'm going to focus over here. Nice and slow, nice and slow. If your partner's not doing exactly what you're doing, exactly when you're doing it, you're being too fast. Nice and slow, like you're telegraphing what you're doing. And switch. Leader's now the follower, follower's now the leader. It happens seamlessly. I don't want to see the switch happen, but it happened. Leader's now the follower, follower's now the leader. And switch. Keep moving. Never stop moving. Keep moving. Don't stop moving. Nice and slow. Slow down, slow down, slow down. You're in slow motion land. Slow motion land. Slow motion land. And switch. Keep moving. Don't ever stop moving. It's a seamless switch. And switch. And switch. Every movement moves into the last movement. I want it to be seamless. And switch. Keep moving. Don't stop moving. Don't panic. Just keep moving. Switch. And 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 switch again. And then switch back. And then switch. And then switch. And then a round of applause for our volunteers. Yeah, you can hug. Okay, yes, beautiful. One of the oldest games out there. Now, I want to ask, how many people lost track of who was leading and who was following? That was kind of the point, right? That's why I was saying switch so many times. It's something in improv called following the follower. We don't need a leader. We don't need a leader. We don't need somebody in charge. Right? And when we lost track of who was leading and who was following, where was that movement coming from? It's coming from both of us. It wasn't my movement. It wasn't their movement. It was our movement. And that's what collaboration is to me. That's yes and. Yes and is, I'm going to inspire you to play with me. You're going to inspire me to play with you. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for saying yes, and thanks for playing along.